morning students. Here I am starting up with your another class, and here today I am starting up with your first chapter of the other book, and the name of the book is The Snapshots. And here the name is actually the right name, the right title for the book. Why? Because we already have talked about that what is the meaning of snapshots. Snapshots means a picture, to click a picture, to grab a memory till forever, right? So here this book even contains most of those chapters in which the story is related to some past of a person. Like there are some autobiographies and all that which cherishes the memory of someone's past. So here the name is right for this book. And shorts, even it has the other meaning also. Shorts means it is containing short stories, and that too in very simple language, so that the students are able to gather the idea and the moral given by that lesson. So the CBSE has prescribed this book keeping all these purposes in mind, right? So here today we will start up the first chapter of that book, and the name of the chapter is The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. It is written by William Saroyan, and as the title suggests, so definitely there would be an appearance of a white horse in the story. And let's read out that how does that horse appears in the story. But before that, I would like to announce you that this is the story of two cousins and Murad. This is the story narrated by Aram only, so hence it is an autobiography. And this writer, William Saroyan, is quite famous for writing autobiographies. And the physical setting of this story is California. So here this story is about about these two boys of a backward class, backward tribe, which is quite famous for their honesty, loyalty and truthfulness. So here these Armenian boys who were cousins, so they were having good times together. So it is the context from that story, and it is from the collection My Name is Aram. Under this heading the story is included, and from that collection we have got one. So let's enjoy the story of these two cousins. Let's see what happens in this story. Definitely here, as the title says, white horse, definitely white horse would appear in the story. How? We'll see to it. One day back there in the good old days when I was 9 and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence, and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream, my cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning and woke me up tapping on the window of my room. Aram, he said. I jumped out of my bed and looked out of the window. I couldn't believe what I saw. It wasn't morning yet, but it was summer, and with daybreak, not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. So here he says that one day while he was sleeping, so he saw his cousin Murad. And who is Murad? What kind of person he is? he's a kind of person like everybody considers that he's such a mad person. Only this narrator, Aram, does not consider him a crazy man. So that is why he has a good bonding with him. So once while he was sleeping, he came to his house and he tried to call Aram, and then when Aram got up, so he thought that he had heard voice by this Murad in his dream only, because he was not expecting his arrival at 4 o'clock in the morning. But he tried to wipe his eyes and tried to look outside. So he saw that he saw Murad in front of him, and then he rechecked it by seeing in the sunlight, as it was the summer day, the sun was about to enter. So then he could recognize that he was not dreaming, it was the reality. So now we'll get to know that why he came so early in the morning. Get to know the reason in further lines. Let's read out. My cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Yes, he said in Armenian. It's a horse. You are not dreaming. Make it quick if you want to ride. So he saw his cousin Murad sitting on a beautiful white horse, and then he thought that although I already have mentioned that they belong to a very poor tribe, so then he could never ever even get a thought of it that they would be getting a horse and they would be riding a horse. So now he was thinking that how could he get a horse? How could his cousin get a horse? So then, but he tried to rub his eyes and tried to again reconfirm it that whether it is the reality or not. So then Murad confirms that no, it is the reality. I have the horse with me, and if you want a ride, then come out fast. And Aram was quite eager to take a ride, because he was, quite desperate all the time to have this horse ride. So let's see whether he goes out or not. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. But this was more than even I could believe. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses, and my first longings had been longings to ride. So he says that he is quite adventurous kind of man and quite happy man, Murad. And then he says that that his memories were always related to the horses, and he always desired to have this horse ride. In the second place, we were poor. This was the part that wouldn't permit me to believe what I saw. We were poor, we had no money, our whole tribe was poverty stricken. Every branch of the Karlogian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies, not even the old men of the family. Most important of all, though we were famous for our honesty, we had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries. Even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we liked to think was the world. We were proud first, honest next, and after that we believed in right and wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. So now here he says that although his family was quite poor, but still he was, his family was trusted by everyone. That is, he was proud of his family for his for the loyalty, for the honesty and all that. And he compares and gives the picture of the height of poverty by saying that even they couldn't believe that they would be getting meal for the whole day, and everybody was even shocked to see that they were, at the end of the day, they were getting the food in their stomach. So nobody could reason out that from where they were getting that. So here he says that, but their tribe had been famous for last so many centuries. They were known for their loyalty, so there was no question of stealing even. So he was confused that from where Murad has got this horse. He might have stolen it. The things were coming into his mind. So, but he was feeling that he cannot steal. So then, consequently, even though I could see the horse so magnificent, even though I could smell it so lovely, even though I could hear it breathing so exciting, I couldn't believe the horse had anything to do with my cousin Murad or with me or with any of the other members of our family, asleep or awake, because I knew my cousin Murad couldn't have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought it, he must have stolen it, and I refused to believe he had stolen it. He even could never imagine that this horse, as though it is quite a lovely horse, so he feels that this kind of horse is, could not belong to any of the member of his family, neither to him nor to anyone else. So he says that then, if nobody can be connected with such kind of a horse, then how Murad got it? He definitely might have not purchased it, because he do not have money. He doesn't have the money. So then he says that, then what is the option? Another option. The another option is that he must have stolen it. So, but still he is confirmed with the idea that he cannot steal the things. No member of Gargolian family could be a thief. I stared first at my cousin and then at the horse. There was a pious stillness and humor in each of them, which on the one hand delighted me and on the other frightened me. Murad, I said, where did you steal this horse? So now, after getting a look on this lovely horse, so he feels that, he says that somewhere he was feeling quite happy, quite excited, because he was desperate to have that ride. But still, somewhere in his mind, he was stressed because of that guilt that his cousin has stolen it. So he was scared for that. So he is now trying to inquire from his cousin that from where he has stolen this horse. Leap out of the window, he said, if you want to ride. It was true then, he had stolen the horse. There was no question about it. He had come to invite me to ride or not, as I chose. Well, it seemed to me stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else, such as money. For all I knew, maybe it wasn't stealing at all. So he says that now, when he was telling me that if you want to ride, you may come. So then this idea was confirming the narrator that he has stolen it, and he says that but still he was, getting out of that guilt. How he was getting out from that guilt by telling his heart that this is not a stealing, the ride, taking a ride of a horse is not a stealing, as the stealing is at guilt when you steal money or some other things, right? If you were crazy about horses the way my cousin Murad and I were, it wasn't stealing. It wouldn't become stealing until we offered to sell the horse, which of course I knew we would never do. Let me put on some clothes, I said. So now he is saying that the one who was quite desperate to take the horse ride, for them it is not at all stealing, and now even they say that they are not going to sell this horse, so definitely it would not be regarded as. So now he has made up his mind after coming out of his thoughts, after making his mind, he has developed his mind that he would go to take that ride, go to enjoy that ride. That is why he is about to wear the clothes and move out. So rest of the part we will read out in our next class. Thank you.